Okay, time for another knife review. This time I've got the Enlan EL-17. This is the colorful model. I'm guessing something went lost in the translation because I don't know about you, but to me gray is not colorful. I'm guessing they mean the pattern, and yeah, whatever. Either way. So it's currently on Gearbest for 22 Canadian dollars and 63 cents, but they're about to launch a sales campaign, so this may be on sale by the time the video goes up. Anyway, it comes in this pretty simple cardboard box without any accessories like pouch or anything. It's the knife itself. It's a frame lock, as you can see, so quite a substantial, thick, sturdy metal bar to hold the blade in place. So it should take up to some abuse if you were so inclined. Now the blade steel is 8CR 13 MOV, so kind of average. For the price, definitely not a bad choice. So it's sort of a budget steel, but a pretty decent one. It's got a good reputation, and so I wouldn't go around trying to pry open treasure chests with it or anything, but it should be reasonably strong and durable. The handle scales kind of remind me of a 1911, hence the title. If you look at it this way, if you just imagine these were just a little wider, that would kind of look like a 1911. Well, not just kinda. I realized while looking for example pictures that they look exactly like this type of micarta grips for the 1911, so that must be intentional. Now, I've got one issue with the handle scales, which is that they have some sharp corners. On the one side here in particular, this feels a little unnecessarily abrasive. Can be kind of rough on the hand, particularly if you do push cuts like that. This kind of, like, if you wrap the fingers around it tightly, this kind of bites the hand a little bit. So can be somewhat unpleasant there. Otherwise, it's a very simple, kind of no-nonsense handle. Like, there's nothing particularly ergonomic about it. It's just a straight slab, essentially. There's nothing necessarily wrong with that. I mean, the 1911 is also just a pretty simple, straight handle, and it works just fine. So yeah, for the minimalists, that's a good thing. As far as the centering is concerned, it looks perfect to me. It's exactly dead center. It doesn't scrape on either side, so that's all good. And the lockup is very strong, as you would expect. There's no wiggle or anything, no play in either direction. Feels very solid. That's really what describes the knife overall. It feels very solid. It's a solid slab, I guess, of blade, and it's a relatively thick one too. Sharpness is good, as it was out of the box. It cut the phone book paper with ease, so good edge, no complaints there. The blade shape I'm personally not a big fan of. They sort of went for tanto, but didn't really follow through with it, because it doesn't have the sharp angle, like the very straight edge that a full tanto has. So it's kind of an odd thing in between, and the way it dips down here on the spine is just aesthetically not really my thing. There's nothing necessarily wrong with it, except that, if this was perfectly straight, then you could use this corner here, which isn't the case there, but it's not really a big deal. There is a bit of a guard here, kind of an angled ramp that prevents the hand or the fingers from sliding up and onto the blade. I wouldn't necessarily rely on that because it's just at a bit of an angle and there is no jimping or anything on it. But if you grip the knife firmly, it's not an issue either way. The belt clip, as is so often the case, is uncomfortable in the hand. That's just most belt clips that I've handled are kind of like that. Tension-wise, it's a very stiff one. Like, a bit unreasonably stiff, in my opinion. So this may stick to the pocket more than it needs to. There is also a large slot cut into it, so you can put a lanyard on it. And you could use this as a glass breaker as well. There's quite a bit of steel protruding past the handle scales, and overall it's smooth enough that you can flick it open pretty easily. Nice thumb studs here, large and well shaped, and they are ambidextrous. So yeah, easy to open, smooth, action, all good. I haven't used it long term yet. I've just done some tests with it, and during the testing it performed just fine. You know, cuts well, and no complaints that I've had so far. As I said, other than the handle scales being a little abrasive here. I mean, you could polish that, of course, but you know, it would be something that could be improved. But otherwise, particularly considering the price, that's pretty good. You know, around 20 bucks Canadian. So it's probably something like 15, 16 US dollars. That's really cheap for something like this. So the quality is definitely good and you get a lot of value for the money. So I would recommend checking it out, particularly if you like this sort of, as I said, 1911-esque design. There was actually a knife that came out a while ago, quite a while ago, I think, that had actual 1911 handle scales on it. But the problem with that is that was just too wide, at least in my opinion. It's kind of weird to have an excessively wide knife grip. This here makes a little more sense, but still has similar aesthetics. So yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say about it. Like, it's a solid knife. Like, it doesn't blow me away or anything, but it's pretty decent, well designed, and for the price, can't really complain about it. So yeah, check it out. Links will be in the video description down below, as well as the specifications and everything. I was planning another knife review, but this one here unfortunately isn't available anymore. It's discontinued now, and what's the point of doing a review if you can't get your hands on it anymore? So kind of a shame, because this is pretty good quality, even though it's a funky design. Anyway, that's sad. Doesn't really make much sense to talk a whole lot about it. So I'll leave a few other links to knives down there as well, because they are doing the sales now, and you may be able to get some good deals. So yeah, that's about it. So thanks for watching, and have a good one, folks. Why are you still there? What do you want? If there's anything else you're looking for, it's all down there. Read the video description. I know not many people do it, but there's stuff in there. What more do you want? Is there some kind of revelation you're waiting for? It's been kind of a hot day today. I don't like the heat. Just so you know. Yeah, that's it. Get out of here.